And then just when you think it's over, the videos keep coming and coming and coming. Content for days. Anyways, the old coot here, coming back at you with another exciting video. If you saw the two videos prior to this one, you saw how basically I did the correct way of doing the extra virgin olive oil in the refrigerator test. Basically, you take your extra virgin olive oil, you pour it into a glass, right? If you were to take this and put it straight in the refrigerator, it will not get cloudy typically. If it does get cloudy just as is straight and you leave it in the fridge for like 12 hours or overnight and it gets cloudy, you probably have a really superior extra virgin olive oil. Like we're talking 30, 40, $50 a liter. Maybe even something in this price range might do that. It's rare, but it might happen. This is $14 a liter. This is $15.50 a liter. This is $13 a liter. But what you're supposed to do is take your extra virgin olive oil and add some vinegar to it. Like red wine vinegar, white wine vinegar, makes no difference. And then put it in the refrigerator. Like give it a good mix, give it a good swirl, and then stick it in the refrigerator. Leave it in there for 10 to 12 hours. If it gets cloudy like this one is, that's how you know that you've got extra virgin olive oil. If it stays like this, like it might separate, like see how the red wine vinegar went to the bottom, the olive oil floats to the top. But if the olive oil floats to the top and it stays this clear after it's been in the fridge for 12 hours, odds are you're probably not dealing with extra virgin olive oil. It's probably been cut with something or it's an inferior olive oil. So keep it at that. So anyways, if you saw the two videos prior to this one, you saw that these olive oils were now coming up to room temperature, right? So after taking them out of the fridge, I did this whole thing, right, where I put the paper towel in there and I was showing everybody basically the cloudiness. This is the one that I took out first. I mean, we're talking about like a couple minutes, but we're within a couple minutes. But this one I took out first, this one I took out next, this one I took out next. And honestly, I would say it's been at least a good like 10 or 20 minutes since I've taken them out, maybe even 25 minutes since I've taken them out of the fridge. And they are slowly getting back to this clarity, right? This clear clarity. See that? If your olive oil stays cloudy for longer, like see how this one is really having a slow time to turn back to the clear. That's a superior extra virgin olive oil. The longer it takes, it's all based on room temperature. It's all based on ambient temperature, all that kind of stuff. But typically the longer it takes for those particles to separate back to olive oil, right? And lose that cloudiness, that gelatinous, that jelly-like consistency, the better. So if you remember from the videos from yesterday, this was an 8 out of 10. That's what I gave it. This was a 7 to a 7.5 out of 10. This was like a 6 out of 10. I think I gave it maybe even like a 5 out of 10. But you can see why this was my favorite of the bunch, because the peppery taste was there, the pop, the zing, the zip of that explosion of olive oil flavor in your mouth, right? The pepperiness, the lemon zest undertone, the butteriness. That's why this was my number one. Was the taste alone told me that it was going to be a good one. But now after doing the refrigerator test, I can see now why this is number one to me, this is number two, and this is number three. These are very close. I mean, when I say 1, 2, and 3, these two are extremely close. Like 8, 7.5, or a 7. Very, very close. I would be happy with either one of these, and I would be happy using either one of these for anything. Frying, grilling, using on a salad, using to dip olive oil, your bread with your olive oil kind of thing. Like, they're all great extra virgin olive oils. So specific to this video though, if you notice, that's still pretty cloudy, right? Clear, cloudy. Let me do the paper towel thing so you can see that. But yeah, even after being out now for, I would say like 25 minutes, like, wow, that is some serious, see that? You see what I'm talking about? Comment in the comment section down there below. But you see that, how this is cloudy and this is clear? That's a true testament of having a better quality extra virgin olive oil. Within the price range, right? $14, $15.50, $13 or $14 a liter. Honestly, any one of these is a great choice. If you want to go the next level up, you're going to get more cloudiness, right? You're going to get an even longer time for it to get clear again. So at room temperature, it's now been at least about 25 minutes to half an hour. This one cleared up the quickest, right? So this is almost now back to being clear again, right? Because at room temperature, you lose that cloudiness. But see that? So let me do it one more time in case somebody missed it. Take a screenshot, do whatever you got to do. But see that? So this one's almost back to being fully clear. This one, the one in the middle, it's kind of like in the middle. It's kind of like halfway between clear and cloudy. See that? So this is clear. This one's cloudy. It might be better without the paper towel, I think. But yeah, but you kind of get a sense of what's going on there. And then this one is still the cloudiest of the three, right? So if I put this one here in the middle, there you go. There's probably a better example. So cloudy, and then just a little bit clearer. And then between these two, you can see the difference, right? This one's clear. This one's a little bit cloudy. This one's almost completely clear again. So anyways, I hope this video out there helps someone. If you've tested your olive oil before, where you just stuck it straight in the fridge and see if it got cloudy and it didn't get cloudy, redo the test. So pour a little bit in a glass, put a little bit of vinegar in there, redo the test, let it sit in the fridge for 10 to 12 hours. If it still does not get cloudy, at least like this cloudy or at least this cloudy, you're dealing with an inferior product. Like if it stays clear like this control, if it stays clear like this, even after coming out of the fridge, even after adding the vinegar and letting it sit there all 12 hours or whatever, you got an inferior product. But if you retest your olive oil, put it in the glass, put the vinegar in there, leave it in there overnight or 12 hours, when you take your olive oil out and it gets cloudy, then you know that you bought a good quality extra virgin olive oil. Anyways, with that being said, I encourage you all to check out the videos that were prior to this one. Really good content in there. I wouldn't say I'm an olive oil connoisseur or anything, but in doing these product reviews, I think hopefully I've taught at least one. If I taught one person out there something, comment down below. With that being said, I'm the Old Coot, and I'll catch you all in the next exciting video.